Our goal is $30,900. $900 for insurance, $30,000 for fences, water stations. We're hoping to get our benches, our picnic tables donated. We're hoping maybe some projects for some people who work with wood, like students or something like that, will maybe do our benches for us, maybe Eagle Scouts. We're looking at hopefully that. So we didn't budget for that. We're going to have a little bit of signage. In there. So, but that's a bare, basic dog park. That's not a lot of amenities to it. Eventually we'd like to have an area where you can wash your dog off. So that
Mississippi is a hot state. What about a pool for the dogs? Because most of your dog parks have that.
I know it, and a lot of people want that, and that just comes later. That just comes later because I honestly, when I started this, I didn't know if anybody would give a dime. I didn't know if we could even get anything going. So when we created our budget, we just created it bare bones, and this is all we need just to get this started. So that's where we are.
How far along are y'all on fundraising?
We have $2,000 now. We are talking to a couple of corporate sponsors that are looking at possibly, donating an area. So like the large dog area, the small dog area. So we're really excited. We just haven't nailed anything down yet, but we're just kicking off our fundraising now.
My name is Bobby Cleveland. I'd like to welcome you out for this kickoff media event for the dog park at the Res. Something that we're excited about. I represent I'm a board member of the Barnett Reservoir Foundation, and I also work as a media liaison for Pearl River Valley Water Supply District. So I represent two of the three groups behind it, so that you'll understand. It's Barnett Reservoir Foundation, which is a private support group for the Pearl River Valley Water Supply District, which is a state agency that manages the property and Barnett Reservoir. There's 33,000 acres of water and about 17,000 acres of dry land, and this part is part of it. About 2 months ago, a group of people came to the foundation with an idea for a dog park, which I call that group the dog people. Just like I called boating people the boating people. But anyway, I called them the dog people. And they came, and the first thing we had to have was an explanation of what a dog park actually is and the role it plays. And once they explained it to us, we just jumped right on it and thought it would be a great addition not only to the residents of the reservoir property, but of the surrounding communities. And we got on board with them real quick without any dissent at all. So I guess you'd call us dog people too. And then what our job was to approach the Pearl River Valley Water Supply District about securing the property. That was without dissent. They're dog people too, apparently. So it was all on board. Everybody joined in, and it went real smoothly. And now we're to the part where it's time to get this show on the road, get the money raised, and get the place built. In Mississippi, there's only a few dog parks. There's one in the Jackson area, I understand, but it's private. But they have a couple in Biloxi and one in Oxford and Starkville, and I think Hattiesburg's fixing to build one. And I think it'd be perfect for us to go ahead and have one here. And actually, I'm a dog owner, and I know how important it is to run a dog. I have to put in a privacy fence and a doggy door for mine, but a lot of people don't have that opportunity, and this is perfect for them to exercise off leash and to learn to socialize with other animals. But today here at the event, I'm going to let each group that's behind it tell what their roles are. And Pearl River Valley Water Supply, we have the chairman of the board, Mr. Jack Winstead is here, and the general manager of Pearl River Valley Water Supply District, John Sigmund, is here. And John, if you'd like to say a few words about PRV, or Jack, either one.
Go ahead, John. As Bobby said, it was not much to think about here in terms of having a dog park. It's a great idea, and we feel like it's going to be a great benefit to the community. We have a lot of land here. We have 50,000 acres total, and we'll set aside 1 or 2 acres for the dog park. Hopefully, when this thing is successful, then there can be one on the other side of the lake and in other locations, and we'll have more of them. I will point out that the dog people committee, as Bobby calls them, are the ones raising the funds. There's no state money going into this dog park. It'll all be the fencing and other activities that are here will be paid for by donations, and they've been very successful in getting donations and looking for more donations. When the park's finished, it'll be fenced in. There'll be a area for small dogs and a separate area for larger dogs. There will be watering stations for people and the dogs. There will be benches and some picnic tables, and there will be a waste station. Everybody has to scoop their own poop. And so we look forward to everybody enjoying this. We have a comfort station right here for the dog owners to use. We look forward to it. I think it's going to be a great thing.
Obviously, everybody here will be available for questions and interviews one-on-one after we have the little program. Doug Berry is here as he is the president of the Barnett Reservoir Foundation Board. Doug, come on up.
A lot of us have done a lot of things about the dog park, but without Debbie Wagner's idea and about 90% of the work, we wouldn't be here trying to raise money for this dog park. Next, the PRV Board of Directors so graciously donated the use of the property, and it shows their commitment to the community. Barnett Reservoir Foundation is just an entity to accept the money and pay it out, and I can guarantee you 100% of the money donated to the dog park will go in the dog park. And that's about all I have to say about that. Thank you for being here. If you need to make a donation, BarnettReservoirFoundation.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. There's everybody that's part of the dog park committee that's here. A lot of them have their dogs out here, but if you do raise your hand, there's way too many of them to try to identify at one time. But they're I guess ringleader. What would that be called?
Co-conspirators.
Well, what is it? The pack leader. The pack leader of the dog. Leader of the pack is Debbie Wagner, and I'm going to let Debbie just tell you more about why the park is important, the facets of the park, and everything like that. But Debbie, thank you.
Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate the support. The reason that I was filled with passion to do this, to build a dog park, is I took my dog, which is the collie over there. He was 8 months old. I was on vacation in Gulf Shores, and I found out they had a dog park down there. And I took him. I'd never been to one. I didn't know what to expect, but I was amazed at how much he enjoyed it. He ran and played and got along so well with all the other dogs, and then I socialized with the dog owners, and it was just a great time. So every time I go down there, I try to go to Gulf Shores a couple of times a year, and when I do, I take him and we go to the dog park. And I came home and I said to my husband, why don't we have one here? Why can't we have a public dog park nearby in Madison and Ridgeland somewhere? There's got to be somebody working on this. So I tried to find a group that was possibly already working on it, and there wasn't anything out there. So I started a Facebook page trying to gather support. I thought if there was a loud enough voice that the leaders in the communities would hear us and want to start a dog park. And I let that kind of sit around for a while. I did it about, maybe a year ago. And this past summer, my husband said, you need to really do something with this. If you want a dog park, you may just have to start it yourself and get going. So started calling meetings. The first meeting I had, only 2 people came, and after that, more people came, and more people came, and so we had a really good core group that helped me to come up with the concept. What do we need? What do we want? What can we do? I knew I had seen this property for quite a while, and I love this piece of property for a dog park because it's not being utilized, and it had everything we needed. It had a parking lot, it had a bathroom, it had water, and it had shade. And that's all you need for a dog park other than fences. So I had my eye on this, and I thought, how do I go about doing this? So we started to build a presentation so we could go to the foundation, and if the foundation would accept our project, then it may be easier for the reservoir to accept it. So we did presentations. We talked to the neighborhoods, so the people who live in the neighborhoods around here to get their take on it, and they were extremely excited about it. I think it was 90% positive responses on all the emails that we sent out to the HOAs, and we also walked some of the neighborhoods, and everybody we talked to was all on board with it. So after the foundation approved it, we took it to the Parks Policy Committee for the reservoir. They had to approve it as a project as well, and then once that happened, the Park Policy Committee took it to the full board, and on November the 19th, the full board approved us to utilize their property, and this is where we are now. We're at the point where we have our area, we have our land, but what we need now is we need to do fundraising so we can build this park, and we're not going to start building until we have all of it. Our budgeted amount right now is $30,900. That's for fencing, that's for water stations. We're hoping to get our benches and our picnic tables donated. So it's kind of the bare basics of what you need for a dog park, but I think that's a great place to start, and we're extremely excited about it. The reason we think that a dog park is so important to the community is that people don't have big yards anymore. A lot of people have big houses and small yards. A lot of people live in apartments in this area. They need a place to take their dogs to run. I have a large yard. My dog runs around the yard once or twice, and then he comes and lays by me. And he's not getting the exercise even though I have the space for it. So if he was at a dog park, he would be running constantly to get that exercise. So we also feel that a dog that's well exercised is less likely to bark excessively, is less likely to destroy property. If you have a young dog that's chewing everything in sight, he needs exercise. He really doesn't need discipline. He just needs to be exercised, and he needs to get out and run a little bit. So also a good thing about a dog park is the socialization of a dog park. Dogs, they need to socialize with one another, and also a socialized dog is a better dog because you can take them in public and they're not going to try to chew every dog in sight. And also socializing for humans. Dog owners love to socialize with each other. They learn so much from one another, and it just promotes responsible ownership. So John talked about how the dog park's going to be. It's about an acre. You can see some of the flags out there, the flagging that we've put down. It's going to be a fence somewhat in the middle of it that will divide the small dog area from the large dog area. Then it'll have water stations, and we're going to have a memorial. We're going to have a memorial walk with engraved bricks as well as a memorial gate area. So that's going to be one of our fundraising ideas, is selling engraved bricks. So we're at the point right now we need to do fundraising. We have a GoFundMe. We're going to sell engraved bricks pretty soon on our website, BarnettReservoirFoundation.org dog park. We will have ideas on how we're going to do the fundraising. We're going to have engraved bricks. The GoFundMe's on there. We're going to sell t-shirts. We're going to ask for bench donations. And we're also talking to corporate sponsors as well to come out and give us some big money so we can go ahead and build our fencing. At this point, I want to thank a number of people that have helped us. I want to thank Doug Berry and the Barnett Reservoir Foundation for allowing us to partner with them. Without their help, we would not be here today, I promise you that. I also want to thank Kenny Latham and the Parks Policy Committee who accepted the project from the foundation and approved it. Again, that was a huge step, and he was extremely helpful in that. And lastly, the Reservoir Board for approving the project and allowing us to use this property. Every time we came to any of these groups, they had such an open mind, and they listened to us, and they understood what was important for the community. And I'm just so thankful for them, because they may not have known what a dog park was, but by the end of the meeting, they sure did. And lastly, I also want to thank John Sigmund. His support each step of the way. He was in pretty much every meeting that we were at, and he also very much had an open mind to what we were trying to do, and I just appreciate that. And on a personal note, I want to thank my husband for sometimes pushing me to get moving when sometimes I was afraid to move forward, and for guiding me for every step that we took. He was helping me and guiding me, and so I appreciate all that he's done. Thank you.